So here guys, part 2 of my Liber Imperium review, and we're going to be jumping in now with the Sisters of Silence. This is the second army list available in the book, and represents, of course, the anathematic, basically like soulless sisterhood that typically is going to follow around the Emperor's legions, hunting psychers and demons. All right, Sisters of Silence. Again, have to be loyalist. They have the Silent Sisterhood X as their special rule. The notation in brackets that it's included as part of a Silent Sisterhood X special rule defines what chamber they belong to, and this militant chamber will grant them all additional rules and effects. So when selecting a detachment, the number of units of Chamber's militant other than the Chamber of Vigilance is limited. For an HQ choice with a given militant chamber, the detachment can include up to 3 other choices from the same militant chamber. So you have to take an HQ, and that unlocks 3 people from that chamber to go with them. This whole army is kind of designed to be taken as like an allied detachment, because realistically that's how they would be fielded, sort of like in the background, in the lore, and that's how you'd probably see them like show up in the battlefield. So for example, a Sister Silent detachment includes 3 HQ choices, 2 Knights Centura, which are Oblivion, and then a Silent Judge, Chamber of Judgment. This army may include any number of units from the Chamber of Vigilance, up to 6 from the Chamber of Oblivion, up to 3 from the Chamber of Judgment. So Vigilance, it's as much as you want, and then each HQ basically unlocks 3 of anything else. So the chambers, the Chamber of Vigilance, a unit composed entirely of models with this variant of the Sisterhood X special rule, may be given one of the following special rules before the start of the battle's first turn, with any models that are deployed with Scout or Infiltrate, before they Scout or Infiltrate. When selecting an army using the Sisters of Silence army list, a unit made up entirely of models with this variant of the X special rule may be selected without restriction, regardless of who your HQ choice is. So there you go. Chamber of Oblivion, all models with this variant of the X special rule gain the Fearless special rule when locked in combat with demon or corrupted units because they don't like chaos. And Chamber of Judgment, all models of this variant gain Fearless when locked in combat with a unit that includes the Psyker unit subtype. So basically it's who are you trained to fight? Demons and the corrupted, or Psychers in this case. So then, Sisters of Silence, Warlord traits, Maiden of Blood. There's basically 3 different ones. There's Maiden of Blood, Maiden of Resolve, Maiden of Sorrow. At the end of any combat in the assault phase that includes this warlord, after all attacks have been made, but before the winner is decided, this warlord controlling the player can choose to inflict D6 wounds with AP dash on the warlord's own unit, allocated as the controlling player wishes. These wounds are not counted towards combat res. Once they're resolved, the warlord and each remaining model in the unit may make 1 additional attack each. Any wounds caused are counted towards the deciding side and win the combat. So basically, you throw yourself at the enemy heedless. You take a number of D6 extra hits with no AP, and then you do all 1 extra attack each. So you throw yourself back into the fray, and then you basically can like try and tip the balance. In addition, an army whose warlord has this trait can make an additional reaction in the opponent's assault phase, as long as you're still alive. And you can also select an additional unit from this Chamber Militant, whichever one you have. The Maiden of Resolve, once per battle at the start of this warlord's controlling player's turn. Controlling player may activate this warlord's trait. Until the start of the controlling player's next turn, the warlord in any unit that they've joined may not move, either during the movement phase or as part of a reaction, but automatically pass all your morale and pinning checks, and gain Feel No Pain, Fort Boss, and Eternal Warrior. In addition, an army whose warlord has this trait can do an additional reaction in the opponent's shooting phase, and you get an additional unit from your Chamber Militant. And then Maiden of Sorrow. When this warlord in any unit that it's joined suffers an unsaved wound, the warlord that has this trait and all models in that unit that they've joined gain a bonus of +1 to their attack and movement to a maximum of +4 until the end of your next turn. If this warlord is removed as a casualty while locked in combat, the opposing player gains no victory points for it from any objective or special rule. In addition, an army whose warlord has this trait may take an additional reaction in the movement phase, and you can take an additional unit from their Chamber Militant. So basically, the Maiden of Sorrow is a giant screw you to certain objectives like Slay the Warlord. I kind of love that, and it gets madder the more people die. All right, so we're into units, and once again, there's a few in the plastics. Most of them are in resin. Let's have a look. So, Janisha Kroll, she's resin. She's the head of the orders, so 150 points. She's the one that doesn't speak. I really like her, like, thematically. I think she's really cool. She's pretty tough for a Sister of Silence. She's got weapon skill 6 plus skill 5, but then 3s across the board. Initiative 5, 4 attacks, leadership 10, 2 plus save. She has the Sword of Oblivion, which is +2 strength AP 1, melee 2-handed, murderous strike 5+, and duelist edge 1, which is really cool, so she's in a challenge. Archaeotech Pistol, Frag Crack, Psych Out, Onyx Cloak, which is a 4+ invul, 3+ against any hits with Template or Blast. In addition, when targeted by a shooting attack, the range between the attacking unit and her is considered 6 inches further apart. So kind of like a Alpha Legion thing. Enemy units with the Night Vision special rule and most of the Primarch type ignore this because they just see you. In addition, when attacked by barrages, she's always treated as though it was out of line of sight when scattering attacks, so you always have to scatter your big thing. And then she's character light, Anathema, and unique. So the Anathema special rule is going to be in all the Sisters of Silence. Anathema! A unit with at least one model with this Anathema subtype may not be directly targeted by any psychic power, or use any psychic power to make attacks with a psychic weapon. Model with the Anathema subtype that has allocated wounds caused by a psychic weapon will always fail to wound before any dice are rolled. All models that do not have the Anathema subtype but are part of a unit that includes one or more Anathema suffer -2 leadership because they're spooky. Any unit with at least one model within 6 of a model with the Anathema subtype suffer -1 leadership of all models in that unit that do not have the Anathema subtype. And then a unit that is embarked on a vehicle, fortification, or building suffers no penalties to leadership characteristic due to this. However, units with a stubborn special rule do often suffer penalties to leadership from this effect to this subtype. Basically, you're a psychic abomination. And then she's Fleet 2, Scout, Fearless, Fear 1, Hatred, Demons, Psychers, Corrupted, and Traitor, Eternal Warrior, Precision Strike 5, Precision Shots 5, Ex Oblivio, which is her, like, where is it? Ex Oblivio. Her other special rule. E. Nemesis units, A, B, C, D, E, Ex Oblivio. At the start of any combat in the assault phase before the beginning of Initiative 10, the controlling player of the model with this special rule can declare its use. When used, roll a d6 and select a single enemy model in base contact with a model that has that special rule, including models engaged in a challenge with that model. That enemy model must reduce its weapon skill to 1 for the remainder of the current player turn. If the dice roll it results in 2 to 6, there's no further effect. If the dice rolls a 1, then the model with this special rule takes a single wound with no armor, cover, and vulnerable saves taken as normal. Basically, she just like paralyzes you. And then she has the Soulless Queen Warlord trait. If an enemy unit army taking part in the battle includes any models of the Demon unit subtype or Psyker or Corrupted unit subtype, Janisha Crow and all units in the same detachment that include at least one model with the Silent Sisterhood special rule gain the preferred enemy special rule for the duration of the battle. If there's no models of the Demon unit subtype or Psyker are Corrupted, then Janisha Crow and any 3 units from the detachment gain the Infiltrate special rule instead because she's hunting for them. In addition, an army that has Janisha Crow as its warlord increases its reaction allotment by +1 in the assault phase as long as she's not been removed as a casualty, and take 2 extra units from the Chamber of Oblivion. All right, so we're into actual like heroes now. These are your HQ choices. So the Knight Abyssal, you can take 1, and their chamber is the Chamber of Oblivion, as is the Knight Centura, which is like the smaller version. So she's like the big Oblivion one, and the Oblivion chamber unlocks the Raptora Cadre, the Oblivion Knight Cadre, obviously, the Vigilator Cadre, and that's it. I think that's it for those units. Oh no, it could be more. Those are Judgment, Vigilance, Judgment, that's it. And she's basically like I guess a Praetor sort of equivalent. So 6s across the board for weapon skill, ballistic skill, and movement. Then all 3s because she's just a human. 4 attacks, leadership 10, 2+ save. Artificer armor, void skill cloak, psychic grenades, crack grenades, frag grenades, bolt pistol, execution blade. Void skill cloaks are basically the Janisha Kroll cloak, but like a light version. It's back here. Spectra cloaks, they're all different cloaks. Everybody's got cool cloaks. 5+ invulnerable save, increased to 3+ from hits with template and blast. It's just like hers, but it's like light. And then she also has Ex Oblivio, precision shots on and strikes on 5s, hates all the same stuff, Fearless, Fleet 1, and then she's Chamber of Oblivion. Can take power weapons. She has an Execution Blade, which actually I should just go through all the Executioner weapons because there's like a whole class for them. Guardian weapons. Solarite, Power, Paragon, Meridian. Oh, please, come on. Now, what are you called? Oh, you're killing me here. Execution Blade, there it is. +2 AP3. Melee, two-handed, rending 6+. So the rending swords that are all strength 5 AP3. And she can take like a power weapon, charnable weapon, Paragon Blade, or a Proteus Neurolash, which is just a weird Scourgy Whip. At +3, melee 2, and Deflagrate, because you shock people, which I think is cool. And you can Mastercraft stuff too. Knight Centaur is a light version of her. Still has all the same special rules, so like Ex Oblivio, Precision's on 6s instead of on 5s though, and the same weapon kit. Big difference is just weapon skill plus skill 5, and 3 attacks instead of 4, leadership 9 instead of 10. All right, now these are the Judgment ones, Silent Judge and Silent Fury. Silent Judge is the same sort of like class stat line. Has a Distort Field and Excrucia Armatus. What's in a Distort Field and Excrucius Armatus? Distort Field. It's like it's almost like a Predator kind of like cloak. A, B, C, D. Cyber familiar. Distort Field. When targeted by a shooting attack, the range between them is increased by 6+. It's the same as what Janisha has. In addition, it's a 6+ invul against melee and a 5+ against shooting. And of course, Primarch's Night Vision ignores it. And then she has Artificer Armor, a Spectra Cloak, and the Spectra Cloak is kind of like the other cloak, Spectra Cloak. It is when targeted by a shooting attack, you're 6 inches further away. In addition, when attacked by a weapon with the barrage rule, you scatter more. So basically, those two cloaks together add up to Janisha's cloak. It's the extra scatter, and then also the invulnerable save and the out of line of sight. Lots of melee weapons. Can take a flamer, heavy flamer, grenade launcher, Adderthite Destructor. Because you have 2 bolt pistols, you're like a shooty version. And then same core special rules. The Silent Fury, again, they're the Chamber of Judgment. Silent Fury has the same core rules, but with Outflank, Deep Strike, Loyalist. And she has a Distort Field and a Jet Bike. So she doesn't have the Spectra Cloak, so no extra scatter, but she has the Distort Field still. And can take all the same kind of stuff, but her Jet Bike can have a Needle Cannon and her Adderthite Destructor. All right, and then a Quester Cadre. So this is a 3-person sort of like bodyguard. They have Vrantine Bolters, so you can make these out of the plastics. Frag Grenades, Crack Grenades, Psychic Grenades, Vrantine Armor, and a Spectra Cloak. So they have the extra scatter. The Vrantine Armor. 3+ armor save. It's just power armor. And so while they're not characters, they have the retinue rule and precision shot 6+, and they kind of let you do, it's a 3-man squad, they let you do a little something with like your leftover plastics, which I kind of like. So you can add more guys, but if you are making characters, right, out of your plastics and converting them, this is going to allow you to be able to take those last 2-3 models and make a retinue for your character. They can take up to 6 extra guys, a Nuncio Vox Augury Scanner. They can be armed with different weapons. They can take a Heavy Flamer, Nemesis Bolter, a Adderthite Destructor or Snare Guns. And then a model can take Compression Tanks. And I actually don't know what Compression Tanks do, but it sounds cool. Compression Tanks. You can use them once per battle. It's for your Flamers. And they must be declared before you make a shooting attack. Before any hit rolls are made. When used, all models with flame weapons increase their strength by +2 for that shooting attack. And once it's fully resolved, they are expended and can't be used again. Basically, you can like super juice your flamers with nitrous, which I think is awesome. And then you could be taken for a model for the Chamber of Judgment as a retinue. And that's your cadre's leader for the purpose of that special rule. You can't leave it for the rest of the game. And a Quistor cadre can't be selected as part of an army without a leader. So you have to take a character put in them. A Raptora cadre, same sort of idea, but with execution blades. They have a Void Sheen cloak, which is a slightly different cloak. Again, this is the army of cloaks. The Void Sheen cloak is a 6+ invul, 4+ against blast. And they are fleet, stubborn, precision strike 6+, and then all the usual hate demons and psychers and chosen warrior stuff. And they're a support squad. Their weapon skill 5, bliss skill 4, strength toughness 3, 2 wounds each, which is cool. Initiative 4, and they're also a retinue, but for the Chamber of Oblivion. So they're melee dudes, basically. And then you can exchange your bolt pistol for hand flamers, needles, plasma, and your execution blades for power fists or Proteus Neuro Lashes. You can take a nice Knight Vestal Covenant. And this is from the Chamber of Vigilance. This is your character. It's like the smaller character. 2 bolt pistols and an Arthesium. So this is your like apothecary style. So we're into the elite choices now. You've got all the core sister special rules, but your Chamber of Vigilance. And you can take up 2 additional Knight's Vestal for 35 points. Power weapon, turnable weapon as your weapons, needle pistol, architect pistol. When deployed in the battlefield, all models of special rule must be placed within unit coherency, but afterwards they operate independently or are not treated as a unit. So they're just independent characters after that. And they have Arthesium, so they allow you to do the same usual feel no pain stuff for your units. 2 wounds each. They have the same Vratine armor. No cloak though, which is weird, so no invulnerable save. An Oblivion Knight cadre, so this is a unit now of elites, 100 points. Their weapon skill 5, bliss skill 4, initiative 4, 2 attacks, leadership 8 for base. You get +1 leadership on the unit leader. And they are, of course, from the Chamber of Oblivion, precision strike 6+, stubborn, loyalist, hatred, all the evil-y stuff, Void Sheen cloaks. Take 5 more for 15 points each. You can change your weapons for power weapons, turnable weapons, or Proteus Neuro Lashes. Why would you not keep rending though? And then you can take, the Mistress can have a hand flamer, needle pistol, or plasma pistol. An Eradicator one has Vratine bolters. And they're kind of like the command squad, but just regular Vratine armor. They get fleet and stubborn, so they're elite choices obviously, so unlike the troops, they get the stubborn special rule. And they have precision shot 6+, so it's like the melee and shooting version. And their vigilance chamber. And then 5 more, 10 points each. Any unit can exchange their Vratine bolter for one of the following: a minor combi weapon or a magna combi weapon. So you can have them all have combi weapons if you want. Now the Vratine bolter is pretty cool. Vratine bolter, sorry. I'm adding an N there, I think. Compared to like a legionary bolter, it is 18-inch range. It's rapid fire and psi shock. So the idea is that it's able to wound bad guys, like demons and psychers and stuff. And that is, if you shoot a psyker or demon subtype, and which suffers 1 or more unsaved wounds from weapon with this special rule, also suffers a peril of the warp automatically. Any given unit may only suffer a peril of the warp once per phase due to the effect of the special rule. So you can't like shoot like a demon prince or shoot like a bloodthirster more than once and make them continuously take those tests. Yeah, and then the Eradicator Mistress can have like extra guns and weapons, and you can take compression tanks. Prosecutors, these are just plain old troop choices now, out of the plastics. So prosecutors with bolters, they're Marines with strength toughness 3. They get stubborn, they get fleet. They can take a Charon Pattern Acquisitor, which is I think the Groove tank. I love that thing so much. And you can take them into up to a unit of 15, so 10 more prosecutors for 10 points each. You can change your bolt guns for 2 bolt pistols or assault needlers. 2 units can take a snare gun, because you're trying to kidnap psychers normally. And then 1 can take an augury scanner and Nuncio Vox. The prosecutor mistress can take the usual stuff. And they're from the Chamber of Vigilance. The Oblivion Chamber is the Vigilator cadre. They've all got their Executioner blades, again, made out of the plastics. Same swaps for if you want to take flamers and stuff. You can take hand flamers with compression tanks, which I think is cool. So the whole unit could have hand flamers and compression tanks. Strength 5 hand flamers once per game. And then your Charon Pattern Acquisitor, which is Sister Silent Hood. It's the same militant chamber as whatever unit basically it's attached to. Armor 13, 12, 11, 4 hull points, transports 16 guys because it's huge. You get a Hellion heavy cannon array and a mounted Vratine missile launcher. You get a Spectra Distort shield, which is kind of like the cloaks but for vehicles. Spectra Distort shield. Spectra Distort shield. You're 8 inches further away than the actual range, but Primarchs and Night Vision ignore it. And then you have a front access point. I love this thing so much. I don't know why. I wish there was more wacky vehicles like this in Games Workshop games. I love that thing. And then a Pursuer cadre, which is your bolt pistols and close combo weapons. That's your fast attack and Vratine armor. They have Pursuit Beasts. What's a pursuit beast? LMNOP. Pursuit beasts. Reach, reactor. It's not equipment, it's a special rule. Is that a subtype? No, it's a special rule. Which means it would be in here under special rules. LM. It's not in a call out. Maybe it's actually not a special rule. Maybe it's considered equipment. Come on, pursuit beasts. Nope. It's not a subtype. Void shields. Subterranean assaults. Per nemesis unit. LMN. MNP. Psyshock goes right to Psyshock. PU? Nope. Nope. Ex Oblivio. Feedback. Death Frenzy. Brutal. Bitter Duty. These are all reprints. Anathema subtype. QRS. I don't know what that does. I can't find it. I didn't notice it my first read through of the book, and I can't find Pursuit Beasts. Panoply of Assassins, Presidium Shield. It's not under equipment, which it might have been. Let's just keep going further. We're in the color section. We're past the rules, I'm pretty sure at this point. That's all the color section. Well, I don't know what Pursuit Beasts do. LMNP. I didn't see it in a car. It's not something else Pursuit Beast. It's just Pursuit Beast. Maybe it's back at the beginning? Did I miss it at the beginning of the army stuff? No, Silent Sisterhood. They're all loyalists. That's their chambers. That's their warlord traits. No, and we're into the units. I don't know what Pursuit Beasts do, and neither does this book, apparently. Let's just look at the beginning. No, it's not going to be in here, because this is just all call-outs. Well, oh my god, it's on the next page. Ash, you suck. I thought it was a whole new unit. Okay, a Pursuer Cadre can good number of Pursuit Beasts. See options on page 58. So I can buy Pursuit Beasts, Cybermastids, Felids, Gaimons, Raptors. That was embarrassing. Movement 7, weapon skill 4. So yeah, the Mastiffs are like 2 attack, strength 4. The Felids are 2 attack, initiative 5. So it's like fast or strong. The Caimons are fast and strong and 2 wounds, so they're expensive, obviously, 10 points each. And a Raptor is like a bird, and it's got a higher movement. So just more things you can stick in your unit. They have special rules like Shrouded for the Cyberaptors, Feel No Pain for the Caiman, Rage for the Phalid, Furious Charge for the Mastiff, Fleet for the Mastiff, Phalid, and Cyberaptor. And then they have Cerebral Pacifiers. ABC, Cerebral Pacifiers. Cerebral Pacifiers sure feels like it would be equipment, but maybe it's not. Cerebral Pacifiers. There it is. A model with the special rule never suffers any penalties to its leadership characteristic for the Anathema unit subtype. There you go. So it doesn't care about the fact that they're creepy. Cool, and they can also take in a Acquisitor as a dedicated transport. So it's like your mixed unit of cool bolt pistol and weird animal stuff. Is there Forge World models for that already? I don't see them. No, there definitely doesn't seem to be any pictures of them. But that'd be cool if there was. There's all the Assassins, and they're also super cool. I can't wait to paint my Bins of Assassin. It's so neat. And I want the Ademus Assassin because it's the old school Assassin. All right, a Firebrand cohort with a Firebrand Mistress. Their standard stat line, the Mistress has 2 attacks on Initiative 8. Infantry Light, Fleet, Stubborn Loyalist. Can take an Inquisitor. They're armed with Flamers, so this is your plastics with Flamers. Can all take Varantine grenade launchers or snare guns, and compression tanks. And they're all Sisterhood Judgment. And then the Sisterhood of the Judgment Subjugators, they have bolt pistols, close combat weapons, and then jet bikes. No special stabbers, though. Can they buy the special stabber? No. 25 points each for more. 1 attack. Power weapons, power fists, returnable weapons. So it's mostly just your gun you're using. Because the Aaron's jet bike has built into it. Under equipment, Aaron's jet bike, A, B, C, D, E. It has cavalry anti-grav, shroud 6+, and shroud 5+ if they run, move or run, and has a snare cannon. And what can you trade your snare cannon to? A needle cannon or an adrathic destructor. So you take the destructors too. And a termite assault drill, because why not? 80 points. 12, 12, 10, 12 capacity. I love this thing. Subterranean assault. Can have full kite charges and heavy flamers. The termite assault drill is so cool. I wish the Marines could get it. I think they can they? They should be able to. If they can't, they should, because it's super cool and it's very Imperially. The Sanctioner, it's Vigilance, so it's all Nemesis bolters. And they're kind of a heavy support unit. So Nemesis bolter has underbolt weapons, 72-inch range. It's the sniper weapon, right? Strength of 5, AP 5, heavy 1, rending 5+, sniper and pinning. It's your sniper unit. So I think there's accessories in resin probably coming for these if not already. And that's really your thing. You can dig Vrantine Nemesis bolters instead, which are probably just like a souped up version. Vrantine Nemesis bolters are on this next page back. Strength 4, AP 5, heavy 1, rending 5+, sniper, pinning, psi shock. Yeah, so they're the super psi shock ones. And then your expurgator cavalry for 85 points, and they're armed with heavy flamers. So like the jacked up version of the flamer ones. Can also have a Karen pattern Inquisitor. Can take compression tanks. Can have snare cannons or missile launchers, or they're your heavy support choice basically. Are they? And they're always relentless too, aren't they? No, they're not relentless. Would have been cool if they were. The Sanctions get marked for death though, which is cool. All right, we're into Solar Auxilia. All right, so we're gonna take a break here for part 3. That was part 2 of my review of Liber Imperium, focusing on the Sisters of Silence. We're gonna take a look at now the Solar Auxilia. Go open the cards and check it out. Big thanks for watching. Till next time, I'm Ash. Happy gaming. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. There are tons of other games already recorded for you to watch. Click over to my channel page if you haven't already, and have a look through the dozens of playlists full of videos. I guarantee you'll discover a game you haven't seen played before. I put out new videos 7 days a week, and every day is themed to a different genre as I continue to explore the wider world of gaming. Of course, none of that's possible without you, the viewer, so click a like and subscribe if you'd like to stay on top of what's happening here daily. My 2 kids and I are massively grateful to be able to have the flexibility of this job so I can always maximize my time with them. If you want to support me continuing to put out this content, it's only possible because of my amazing backers on Patreon who support the studio, equipment, and model cost, as well as being how I make the bulk of my living. You can also help out by buying a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, a measuring gauge or widget from Death Ray Designs, or buying one of my games and supplements like Last Days, Gamma Wolves, and Blaster. As a way of showing my appreciation, patrons get early access to new games and supplements that I write throughout the course of the year. Huge thanks for watching, it really does help out, and happy gaming.